Hello and welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger on April 14, 2024. I want to tell you guys about a little experience I had last night, but before that, I want to, just in case some of you are not aware of it, for those of us who are blind and can't read photos, um, there are right now, quite a few AI-powered tools available to us on the iPhone and on the internet. Uh, More so on the iPhone. I don't know about Android because I don't use Android, but for the iPhone users, there are the account, program called Be My Eye. Be My Eye used to be this where you, if you need something described to you or you need help identifying something, you open the app and get a volunteer, and they can see whatever you're showing your camera on. Now there's a new function on Be My Eye where you take a photo of something and the AI will try to describe it to you. Really cool tech, right? Um, there's another one called Seeing AI. I believe that one developed by Microsoft, and it does basically the same thing. You take a photo, and it will describe the photo to you. And the newest one that I just recently been playing with called PixieBot. That's spelled PICCYBOT, and it does the same thing. You take a photo or you select a photo in your photo library, and the AI will attempt to describe it for you. So these are just a couple of the examples, some of the better ones on the market right now. So, as you can tell, with this episode, you can probably tell it by the name of the episode as well. We're going to be talking about AI, specifically, I can't even talk, specifically, AI generated description, AI photo description services for the blind. So if AI is something that you are interested in, and really, honestly, it should be, AI is like the newly developing AI and programming, ChatGPT, and various things it can do. It's everywhere, and it's getting bigger and bigger every day. So if you are one of the people that say, I don't care, AI, it's just crap, my humble advice to you is you might want to really take a closer look at what this is because it's going to be the tomorrow. Like, this is not something that's going to go away. It's going to replace jobs. It's going to make people lose jobs. But that's not all gloom and doom because at the same time, it's going to open up more new jobs, more creative jobs, because there are still a lot of things AI cannot do. So it's going to force people to upgrade their skills, and who knows? One door closes, maybe two, three other doors going to open. I am very hopeful. I love this new AI development myself. So if you are someone who also have been paying attention on the new AI development and what it can do and stuff like that, then this episode hopefully will be right up your alley. And well, everyone's welcome to comment in the comment section. Please share, like, and subscribe if this is something that resonates with you. Okay, so back to my little experience yesterday. As some of you, especially those of you that follow this channel, know that I do a lot of action figure related photos and videos. Now, as a blind guy, that is difficult, especially the photos. It's not easy. Okay, so uh, just I don't want to linger on it for too long, but just to give you an idea, every time I need to do these action figure short videos and photo slides, I need to take the photos and try. Every time I take one photo, I need to run it through the AI to make sure, okay, did I capture what I wanted to capture? Or did I capture something it shouldn't be there? Like maybe the cat got in the frame, or maybe my angle was off. And then I either retake or go on and take the next shot, pose the action figure, turn it around, get closer, or and then take the next shot. Um, on average, each photo, from taking the photo to getting it described to finalizing it, takes about 5 minutes, which means in some of these photo slides that have uh, 15 photos, it takes me over an hour to deal with them, um, because the AI is not instantaneous. When you submit a photo for the AI to read, it takes time to connect to the server and come back with a description, and then you have to read the description, and sometimes the description is like totally wonky. Like sometimes the AI will describe something that's not even there. Like I can take a photo of Superman, and the AI will say something like a very muscular woman or something crazy like that, and then I'll try to retake the photo and get his face or stuff like that. Um, so there's a lot of time invested in these things, right? So anyway, that's just a little bit digressing from what I was telling you guys about, but it is relevant. So some of you would have seen that I posted a short video of the Monstar action figure from Silverhawks by Super 7 last night. And in that photo slide, I believe it's the very first picture. It shows a bunch of hands, and the Monstar came with like 10 different hands, 10, like 5 pairs of alternate hands, uh, fisted, weapon holding, clawing, hand open, yada, yada, yada. Uh, And so I believe the first photo in that slide was that, just all those hands sitting on the tabletop. And I just took a bird's eye view photo of that. Now, here is where uh, this experience took place that inspired today's ranting, bitching, whining video. Honestly, I've been thinking about talking about this for a while, but I keep putting it off because I can't find a very good way to make my point come across. But almost like this little event last night triggered this. It's almost like someone up there saying, "Go, this is the time to talk about it." Okay, so I took that photo of all these hands, orange plastic hands, on the table, right? And then I submitted to AI, and then after about 40 seconds, the AI came back saying, "I'm sorry." Okay, that's not its voice it's actually used, but in my head, that's the whiny kind of voice that I imagine it would have. Yeah, "I'm sorry. The photo you provided, uh, it violates our rules. It may be inappropriate. We cannot describe this for you." That's basically what it said. That's not the exact wording, but it said the photo you provided is inappropriate and we will not describe it. And that kind of like boggled my mind, right? Like, what? I don't know what you're seeing in AI, but it's a bunch of hands. So, okay, fine. Maybe the lighting was weird. So I retook the photo, resubmitted it. 40 seconds later, "I'm sorry, I cannot help you with that." Okay, let's try one more time. Let's try one more time. I'll just imagine it's my bad camera work. Let's try this one more time. Third time, 40 seconds later, "I'm sorry, the photo you submitted is inappropriate for description." What the F? Now, that is why I think this is the time for me to talk about this. This whole AI censorship on what photo it will or will not describe is total BS. Okay, and I have 3 reasons that I will explain why I say it's total BS. It's not just me being petulant and me being denied and me being pissed off. Okay, these 3 reasons I'm going to talk about today, I think they're valid. Now, if you don't think so, or if you agree with me, leave it in the comment section. I don't mind a debate on this topic. But what I do not want to hear, I mean, you're going to leave it there if you like anyway. But what I really don't want to have to argue is some people that's going to say, "Hey, you should be grateful that they have this technology to describe things for you. Why are you bitching about it? Why aren't you just being thankful?" You know what? Because if all we do is being grateful and thankful, then there's never any progress, right? Am I happy? Am I glad that the technology is there? Yes. I'm also happy that we have airplane. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to bitch about when the airplane is late. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to bitch about it when they lose my luggage, right? I'm still going to complain about it because there are things that shouldn't happen, even though the service is there and we are happy that it's there. There's always room for improvement. And if there's no one talk about it, if no one's going to gripe about it, if everyone just says, "Oh, I'm so thankful, it's good enough," that's fine. Then there's never any progress. So, why is AI censorship such a crummy, lousy thing? Let's talk about this. Number one, the first reason why I say that AI censorship is utter BS is that it's pointless. It's pointless, okay? Why is it pointless? Because, okay, let's look at why is it doing it, right? Is it really doing that because it think that uh, it has to protect humanity from pornography or any kind of erotic material? Let's not even get into that argument where pornography and erotic material is a good or bad, because we can debate that all day long. But let's just give it the benefit of the doubt that whoever programmed this in, this lousy censorship, whoever programmed this in, was thinking about children. Oh, we don't want the poor little blind children out there to get pornographic descriptions. If that blind child is submitting a pornographic photo, that means they already know what they got, right? That means they already got it in their hand. They already got it in front of them or on their phone or on their computer. It's pointless to deny them from this point. Rather than trying to be self-righteous about it, maybe what we need to look at is how come their parents let them get a hold of materials like that. Maybe their parents should be the ones that are doing something about it, not an AI. Also, if I was 12 years old, I have been 12 years old. A lot of us have been 12 years old. If you haven't been 12 years old, you shouldn't be watching this video. A lot of us have been 12 years old. So you guys remember, right? When you were a teenager, would you really let that AI deter you? Probably not. If I was 12 years old and I got this hard drive full of dirty pictures that my friends gave me, and I tried to run it through the AI, and the AI doesn't want to describe it to me, you know what? I'm just going to pick up the phone and call my friend and get my little sighted little friends to come over, and they can describe it to me, right? There's so many ways of getting around that if the child that this thing was programmed to protect really want to get access to those photos and materials. So this whole thing is pointless, right? It's not going to stop it. All it does is make it a pain in the ass for those of us who are adults who are trying to access materials, and in this case, not even pornographic materials. It's a bunch of plastic orange hands on the table for crying out loud. Also, it's inconsistent, right? Uh, all these buildings have censorship. There are ways around it. There's all kind of hacks on the computer. And when you try to censor people, there's going to be people who are just as good at programming out there finding ways to break it. Okay? I have already found ways to get around some of these censorship. I'm not even a coder or programmer. I have already found ways to get around some of these. Not all of them. Some of them are really really well, really secure. But if I really want to, I can get the information I want. But it takes time, and I shouldn't have to. Right? So it's inconsistent, it's pointless, there's a lot of ways around it. Get rid of it. It's just pointless, okay? It's BS. That's my first point. Number two, it's self-defeating. Why is it self-defeating? The whole point of having AI being able to describe photos for blind people is to promote equal access. Stop and think about it for a second. Equal access. That is the whole point of this project. So how can you have a project that promote equal access and then you deny access by implementing some censorship that is pointless and inconsistent that just make it a lot harder for the people that you're supposed to make equal access for? Me as a 40-year-old guy, I can sit here and try to run a photo through this thing and multiple times because I think that it's me making a mistake and it refuses to describe a bunch of plastic hands while my 10-year-old cousin can sit in the next room using his eyes and go through a whole hard drive of dirty pornographic pictures. Okay, so where is equality in that? If you truly make something to help blind people, then help blind people. Blind people are not these sexless, innocent angels, pure at heart, and you need to protect them from pornography. Blind people have urges and needs and stuff. I know some of you are making faces. Oh, blind people want sex and pornography. That's disgusting. No, it's not. Blind people, disabled people are just as valid as anyone else. As most of you that have seen or read Playboys or Penthouse or browsed the internet for pornography, blind people have to have those access as well. Whether we are going to use it or not, that is up to us. Whether if the photo I'm showing this AI is a bunch of plastic hand or some naked photo I grabbed from the internet, that is my business. But the whole point is I'm not breaking any law. I'm 40 years old. I should have equal access. I should not be limited by this AI that is telling me that it is programmed to stop me from being able to enjoy or get description of whatever this photo is. So having censorship in this AI is self-defeating because you're going back against your whole idea of equal access in the first place. Number three, it is a dangerous thing to have. And why is this a dangerous thing to have? Because now we are going to talk about basic freedom and rights. Right? This sounds like number two. This sounds like me talking about equal access, but this is a lot bigger. This is way bigger because the AI is not smart enough to make this kind of judgmental call. It just goes with its programming. This is why it's inconsistent, because people who know how to get around that programming can get it to describe photos for them, no matter how dirty the photo is. And those of us who don't know how, we can't even get a bunch of plastic hands to work, right? So the AI is not smart enough or flexible enough to make judgmental call on when it's violating my freedom, my basic right. And this is very dangerous. Just imagine this. Close your eyes and imagine this for a second. We are now 20 years in the future. You are in your self-driving car that is computer operated, and you say to your car, take me to the pub, and your car said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take you to somewhere where alcohol is served because you might be underage. Like, what the hell, right? What if you say, hey, take me to Jojo's Chinese restaurant, and your car said, I'm sorry, I cannot take you to Jojo's Chinese restaurant because they serve alcohol there, and I don't know if you are going to drink. What if we are now living in a house where everything's controlled by AI, and then at night, the AI suddenly shut off the light at 9 o'clock, and you say, hey, computer, can you turn on the light? And your computer said, I'm sorry, I believe you should rest now. But computer, I have work to do. I have a lot of document I need to finish. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I think most of you are already starting to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, the computer does the device, the AI shouldn't be allowed to make judgmental calls like that until it is smart enough to understand what I am trying to tell it. Okay? Until it's smart enough to read my message and said, hey, it's just a bunch of plastic hands. I just need you to describe them to me. And then it describes them to me. Did I try that? Yes, I did try that. The third time, when the computer said it was inappropriate material I was trying to submit, I typed in the text field, I said, why? It's a bunch of toy hands. And it came back with, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. That made me want to throw my phone across the room, I can tell you that. So until when there's a day when the AI is smart enough and flexible enough to actually know when it's appropriate to enforce this rule and when it's not appropriate to enforce this rule, it shouldn't have the right to tell me that my photos are inappropriate to begin with. Okay, so those are my 3 points. Number one, it's pointless. Number two, it's self-defeating because it's promoting equality, equal access, but it's not, its action is going against that. Number three, it's not smart enough to make this kind of judgment call, and we shouldn't be giving it power like that. If we live in a country like China, where censorship is a thing for a government to impose on people, then I wouldn't even be bitching about this, right? I would say, oh yeah, that's just the way it is. The government does it, so the AI does it. But no, I am living in Canada. I'm living in one of the supposedly one of the freest world, one of the freest country in the world. If I want to view pornography, I should have the right to view pornography, especially because I'm 40 freaking years old. If I want to have a bunch of plastic hands described to me, backward, forward, left, and right, it should describe it to me. If I want to be able to have a piece of Renaissance erotic art described to me, the AI shouldn't tell me, I'm sorry, but the image is inappropriate and make me feel bad, right? So those are my thoughts. Like I said, yeah, agree with it, disagree with it, leave it in the comment section. I welcome any constructive feedback. For now, have a good night.